Every day at school, at least 100,000 students bring guns to school. 160,000 skip class because they fear physical injury. 40 students are hurt or killed by firearms. 6,250 teachers are threatened with physical injury, and 260 teachers are physically assaulted. The Fourth Amendment allows people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. The government, therefore, has room to subjectively identify reasonable special needs that supersede individual interests. Protecting our nation's children from everyday violence in the school system is readily accepted as such a special need. What can be searched? Searches can be based on information supplied by students, school employees, and the police. Lockers are considered school property and can be searched if there's a general concern that they might find evidence of a crime or a violation of a school rule. Backpacks, purses, and cars can all be searched if there is a reasonable suspicion. Canine searches and drug testing of athletes need no suspicion before they are implemented. And the school must have a general concern in order to justify the use of metal detectors. When are the use of these measures justified? In a Commonwealth v. case, the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania recently listed several reasons that could justify the use of these searches in the school system. Some of them are information received from unnamed students, observations from teachers of suspicious activity by the students, such as passing small packages amongst themselves in the hallways, an increased use of phones and pagers, calls from concerned parents, and students in possession of a large amount of money. The only problem with this vague list, one question that can be asked is it right to put all students to a search because there's an increase in the use of phones? And unless the administration chooses to ask more questions before conducting these random searches, some students' personal privacy will be infringed upon. When are measures unjust? Courts ordinarily uphold searches of students' cars, lockers, and backpacks, as well as the use of metal detectors, including those that are handheld, because they are generally reliable and minimally invasive. Also, courts have a mixed results on the use of trained dogs to sniff or detect the presence of contraband in the schools, but most allow them as long as the animals stay away from the students. But most courts, but not all, struck down the most invasive of searches, which is the strip search of students for their personal items. For example, in the Georgia case, there was a student who was searched for, they believed that he had marijuana, and they took him to the office and strip searched him in front of other students. And there was he was picked on and called Superman because he was wearing Superman underwear, and they strip searched him, and the courts declared it kind of malicious and unjust by the way he was treated during the strip search, and because they only had an idea that he might have drugs on him at the time. Melodramatic example of what students are capable of carrying in just their clothes alone, not counting their book bags, which they can easily walk into school with. As I said before, it's a little over the top, but I think it proves the point well, that without metal detectors and other security precautions, anyone can bring anything, whether it's weapons or drugs, into a school. Now, this genius in the video would be waddling around the school like a freaking penguin, which would be a dead giveaway to the teachers that something's up. But other than that, I think this really proves a good point.